Hey guys, it's me, Joy. Today I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to talk about what I think about Vietnamese girls. So let me just grab my coffee a bit. Okay, just a quick disclaimer. I'm going to give my own personal experience of dating Vietnamese girls over here in Vietnam over 5 years or my 5 years stay over here. So these are going to be my personal experiences. So I'm just going to share them straight up front. Um, um, and like I'm going to share it from my personal perspective point of view. I'm a non-white foreigner. I'm not a white-skinned foreigner. So these were my relationships with a couple of these Vietnamese women and how I feel about it. so um, so it's like like I've dated quite a lot of Vietnamese women over here over the past 5 years here in Vietnam. I can say that some of them like are like when I'm meeting them for the first time, if I meet them for a coffee or something. They may they may appear to be a bit rude or not interested, um, you know or but as you're spending time with them and you're breaking the ice, they start becoming more friendlier with you, more caring. um, it's kind of a bit difficult, try to maintain a stable relationship with the Vietnamese girl if you just want to have a Vietnamese girlfriend, because it's very. I mean, according to me, it's a bit difficult finding the right one because there are many other Vietnamese girls. They just want to meet up with a foreign person, communicate in English, have a good time. They want you to, maybe buy them some dinner, um, and just have a like a kind of a just a good time. But if it's kind of a from my personal experience, it was a bit difficult, trying to fixate with trying to get a stable relationship with the Vietnamese woman because it's a bit challenging because like if you want to go out for the second date, if you really like that person, uh, you know, I've had instances where she would say, I'm busy this week, or, a lot of excuses, yada, 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 or, so it's not so easy, like, going out for the second date, third date. Um, you know, um, I mean, that's my personal experience. But I mean, sometimes they can come off a bit rude, but like I said, I personally find them to be very caring and very attractive. They really take care of their health. Um, I'm actually a bit attracted towards mature Vietnamese women. And especially if they're a bit chubby. I mean, I'm not very much into, like, I'm 40. I'm not very much into dating someone, who's like even 28. So, I mean, I would prefer to date a mature woman, who would be around, 35 or even older to my age, like, 45, I don't know, in American, you have that word called as cougar. I don't know. But I mean, I personally like to hang around with matured Vietnamese women because they're more. I mean, they have really experienced a lot of life. It really doesn't matter to me, how many kids they have, or because majority of the women, matured women over here in Vietnam, Even I believe, if they are like around 28 years old or so, they're like single moms already. Maybe the boyfriend just ran away, or he cheated, or he was a playboy or something like that. I have encountered a lot of these a lot of these experiences, and they tell me about that. But it's just dating in Vietnam. It's a bit challenging, but like once you go out for a date, it's pretty fun. You can take her out, at the walking street, or just have a coffee or something. I'm not a big fan of taking someone out to a rooftop bar and doing all the fine dining and all that, because it's very important for me to get to know the person very well. I mean, I've even had instances where I've met Vietnamese women, like have had one night stands, but I really wanted to have a stable relationship with them. But they just want to have some physical attraction or something, because it's especially for the mature Vietnamese women, they just want to have that burst of love, for that Friday night or Saturday night or something like that. But overall, I think they're pretty caring, and if you're married, if you want to get married to a Vietnamese woman, who you think is the right one, I think you should go ahead, because they're really caring, and they really will care about you. Uh, Most of the women which I find out here in Vietnam, especially in Ho Chi Minh, and even in Hanoi when I was there, they're very self-independent. They have their own jobs, or they do their own businesses, or run online businesses. I've even dated Vietnamese women, who drive luxurious cars, very independent, but they really don't care, like how your financial status is or something. They just want to have someone, who can love them, and just have that loving touch. I mean, this is my personal experience of dating matured Vietnamese women, because they're like more open-minded. Um, like when I was back in the Philippines, I used to live there for 5 years. It was a bit different in the Philippines, because most of the girls over there, like they're not very financially independent. They always want to find some foreigner, Westerner, or just for some financial stability. So here it's a bit different. Here the women are more, um, more more independent, financially independent. They know how to take care of themselves and of their children if they're single mothers. They're very caring, very protective about their family, and of course they're very family oriented. Because if you really want to have a stable relationship with the Vietnamese women, you have to also go and meet her family, because she would take you to meet her family, maybe in the city or in the countryside, and definitely you have to spend time with them, and you have to win their hearts. Because this is one of my personal experiences. I remember this was in my first year here in Vietnam. I was dating this Vietnamese girl, and she was older to me a bit. She had a stable job with an international school, and her family members, they lived in Dalat, and her father was a government official, a senior person. So I mean, I went to her big home and everything, but her mother, she was like not a very big fan. She didn't like, that I was actually dating her, and it became a bit difficult. You know, and I remember when I just came back from Dalat to Ho Chi Minh, she started distancing herself from me. She would not show interest, and eventually, our relationship didn't last. So, family is very important for these Vietnamese women. You have to win their heart. Like I said, the Vietnamese women in general, they like to really take care of themselves. They're very attractive. They have the fair skin. most of them, and especially if you're dating in Hanoi, they like to keep themselves very classy. When it comes to open-mindedness, I think the girls in Saigon are a bit more open-minded, a bit more communicative. Yeah, they may come off a bit rude, which from my personal experience, like when I first meet someone for over a coffee or something, a bit, they may be not talking a lot, or maybe, they may like not show that much of interest. But as you're communicating with them and talking about interesting things, that will really help. And of course, they're very sensitive about if you really love Vietnam or not, because I've had these encounters where these Vietnamese women would ask me, do you love Vietnam? Do you like staying in Vietnam? What do you like about Vietnam? So if you can also bring in the positive aspects of it, then you can win their heart. But if you're just going to criticize and just say, oh, I don't like anything about here, it's just very, very, very difficult. I want to get out of here, or I'm going to go to America. I'm going to go back to America, or I'm going to go to Singapore. I want to go to some other Southeast Asian country. I don't want to stay here long. Then she will psychologically feel that this person, he does not like living out here. And then she'll pretend to be nice with you on the first date, but then she will avoid you. She wouldn't be even thinking about having a relationship with you because they're very sensitive. Whatever actions you do, they're very they evaluate you all the time, especially for your first date. Of course, it's also important, that she would also like to see, if you're kind of financially a bit stable, like what is your work, what do you do. So these kind of things which I've had experiences. But and of course, I mean, what I also want to say is that they're very good in affection. I don't want to get into the details about it, but I've had experiences where they're really good in affection. What I say, good in bed. Um, and it's just yeah. So I mean, if you can have a stable relationship with the Vietnamese woman, she'll give you everything. She'll give you the moon. I've even had instances where someone actually, they can buy you stuff. Like for example, maybe she'll gift you some kind of a nice phone. If she's financially independent, or she'll take care of you. You got to look into all this, because they're very caring per people. Yeah, I mean, most of them are kind of a bit introvert type, which I've had experiences because most of the ladies whom I've dated out here in Vietnam, they're not big fans of going to nightclub and dancing around. And I personally am not a very big fan. I'm not very. I'm not a big fan of going to the nightclubs and dancing around a lot and blowing a lot of money. So I like to take I like to go out for a decent coffee conversation. I'm not, and like I would not recommend that you just go and straight away buy her some lavish dinner for the first date. Just go out for a simple coffee. And you got to be a bit careful, because like a couple of these dating apps, like I've had like I just tell them that would you like to go out for a coffee, and they may say I don't like coffee, and they would say I like wine. So when that comes up, I like wine, I just get a bit skeptical about that. So I just try to try to then look for someone else. But like I said, I'm more into mature Vietnamese women. They're more independent, more classy. They have also great physiques. Even if she's a single mom and she's got two, three kids, they know how to dress very sexy. Also, if they want to meet you for the first date. So yeah, mature women. Maybe somewhere around your age or a bit older. Or, so it's and they're like financially more independent. They can you can also you can also have stability over here in Vietnam if you want to stay here long term. And should you decide to get married to her, then that'll be also beneficial for you. So you got to look into all this. And of course, there's so many beautiful women. When I go to the coffee shops here in Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh, yeah, I'm a bit of introvert type person. I'm a bit workaholic. I like to always work on my laptop for my content marketing stuff. But if like I mean, I would also like, if somebody would come up and approach me and like say, how's your day going or something. But I don't know if that's really going to happen or not, because like there's so many beautiful, classy, elegant women in the coffee shops here across Ho Chi Minh, and they're really beautiful. I mean, they got they have they have a good physique. They dress well. They're financially very independent. Most of them have got the latest iPhones or Mac Airs, and like they just sit in the coffee shop. So I mean, you can also go and try to communicate with these women. Just have some short conversation. Most importantly, exchange the numbers on Zalo, and then take it up from there. Yeah, I had a conversation before with a Vietnamese girl at a coffee house here, and I just had a small talk, and then she started, and like she showed a lot of interest in communicating with me, and then we communicated more, and the next thing is that we exchanged our Zalo numbers, and then we hooked up for a date, and it went off well. So you can do that. I'm not very much into looking for Vietnamese women who are looking for sugar daddies. I'm not into that. So like I said, I'm more into matured women, who are more financially independent, classy, elegant, who know how to take care of themselves, or if they're running a business here in Vietnam, or having a senior position. You can just find in all walks of life here. I mean, like even if you go to a bank over here in Vietnam, you can see a beautiful Vietnamese woman a woman who's a manager of a company or a bank or something, and maybe she's still single, and she wants to she may like to go out for a date with you or something. So it all depends. So like I said, I'm more into the online dating apps. It's a bit difficult for me if I want to just go straight up and try to talk to a Vietnamese woman, because I by nature I'm a bit of introvert type person, so I feel a bit nervous and scared. But like I said, they're very elegant, very beautiful. Compared to Thailand and Philippines, definitely Vietnamese women are more elegant, more beautiful. They have very beautiful skin. Sometimes they may come off a bit rude, but as you're breaking the ice, they'll start becoming a bit more nicer and friendlier, and of course, they'll show a lot of affection. So don't let that get on your don't let that get on the way. I mean, even if you go to the like 7-Eleven, Circle K, and all that, or McDonald's or whatever, most of the staff over there are women, or senior managers, women, or someone. They may be very beautiful, and you can try to communicate with them. So or even Circle K, you'll find these young Vietnamese girls, even at 7-Eleven, and you just try to have some short conversations with them, and like if they're smiling when you're interacting with them, that's a good sign. So that shows that, your strategy is going well. Even during the dating scene, personally, if the Vietnamese woman is smiling and she's laughing, even if you're saying some silly things, that's a sign that she really is enjoying your company. And especially if she's holding your hand, or she's trying to rub herself towards you, or she's like those kind of stuff. So that she's pretty much keen to be with you. and she really finds you very attractive and very intellectual. So yeah, I one last thing I would like to say is that I also feel that from my personal experience, if you're well traveled and if you're an intellectual person, and if you have a good behavior, and if you're a gentleman, it's going to be very easy for you to have a very stable relationship with a very nice Vietnamese woman. So that's all I got to say. And one last thing is that I just published my new guidebook, and it's how to maximize your profits if you're staying in Southeast Asia. It's free to download. So I'm just going to leave a link down in the description below. In case you're looking for making money out here in Vietnam. You want to think about starting something online. Some business out here in Vietnam. Then you can check out that guide. I'll leave a link down in the description below. And with that being said, this was me, Sue Joy. Peace out.